God bless every one of you, and welcome to the sixth message that I'm sharing about when God's people are led into the wilderness. And we'd like to find out a few things about the wilderness and the wilderness experience. And as I said in my opening message, the wilderness doesn't necessarily mean a physical destination. Oftentimes, it is a place in life where we are being tested, tried, or in some sort of difficulties in life. I think that's where we find a lot of ourselves nowadays, especially with the current pandemic, which is going on right now in the world. So I'd like to encourage each and every one of you with these messages. So I'd like to speak message number 6, and this point that I would like to make, it is a place, the wilderness is a place where the enemy attacks us. Now I'm going to be again in the book of Exodus, chapter number 17, and I'd like to look here at verse number 8. It says, "Now Amalek came and fought with Israel in Rephidim." Now, this is just one place, one small verse. Amalek. Amalek was a arch enemy, if you will, of the nation of Israel. Amalek had set his heart to destroy the people of Israel. The Amalekites were a nomadic people. They were a people that were aimless in purpose and nature. They would rape, pillage, they would destroy, plunder, and wander all different areas. They would just peruse all over the wilderness looking for their next victims. This reminds me a lot of the devil. You know, I would like to remind you that Jesus, when he was led into the wilderness by the Spirit, he was tempted by the devil. My friends, that is what happens when we are in our wilderness experience. You know, it reminds me a lot of what Peter said. Be sober and vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, is prowling about like a roaring lion, looking whom he may devour. That's the reality that we have right now. The enemy is always on the prowl. I'd like for you to just think about that for a moment. Because in the wilderness, in Africa, in the deserts, in the safari, in the other places, wherever the lion is always looking to prey upon those that are weak, are segregated, or are in some sort of situation that makes them prone to attack. Now, that's the reality of the wilderness. You know, Jesus, he had not ate food. He was fasting for 40 days and nights. He had not partaken in any food. He was separated and led by the Spirit. And now in this wilderness, he is being tempted at his low point, at the very point where the devil would like to tempt and try every one of us. You know, that's when the devil likes to come in. And that's exactly when Amalekite would come and start to mess with Israel. You know, he would come and start to attack them at certain points, certain times. You know, there was a strategy at hand. He wouldn't just come in when everybody was prepared. He would come in at just the right moment when they would feel that it's just proper at the opportune time to be able to create trouble. And I would like to remind you, my friends, that the devil is the same way. He's looking for just the right opportunity. And the Bible says that he comes not but to steal, kill, and destroy. That's his purpose in life. The wilderness is a place where the enemy would like to come upon us, to test us, and to try us in the difficulties we're having. But the Bible says, be sober and vigilant. Why? Because if God is for us, who can be against us? My friends, if God is for us and the enemy is coming against us, I would like to remind you that God is much bigger than any devil, any demon that there is. And he will not abandon you. He will not leave you aside. I would like to remind you of Peter. You know, that guy, he really messed up. Even when they asked him, do you know who Jesus is? Weren't you not with him also? He denied even knowing Jesus, and he cursed with an oath, saying, I never knew the man. Now think about that for a moment, my friends. When the enemy came in like a flood, there was an opportunity for God to just bring him out. You remember what Jesus said to Peter? He said, the enemy would like to sift you like wheat, but I have prayed for you that your faith would not fail. My friends, do you realize that Jesus is making intercession for you? Right in the midst of your trial, right in the midst of your temptation, right when the enemy is coming in, there is somebody who is fighting for you. Jesus. He is seated at the right hand of the throne of God, and he ever lives to make intercession for you and for me. So no matter what you're going through today, be reminded of God's faithfulness. His faithfulness, not because you're faithful, not because you've done everything right, because the Bible says even when we're not faithful, he remains faithful. Not faithful because you are perfect, faithful because he is perfect. His love is perfect. His love is perfect towards you and me. And his love, perfect love, casts out all fear. May God bless every one of you and encourage you and strengthen you in that thought today in the midst of your trial, in your wilderness. God bless you.